Oh my God, my ass it hurts.
The couch is bad.
My ass hurts so bad, I can't even tell you. I just ate my weight in Frito Scoops in the car.
Big ones? Wait, just Frito Scoops?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but if it has
Frito Scoops? I'm sorry.
Frito Scoops are to scoop.
They're so good.
They're
They don't
I'm not
taste
saying
any
that they're
different
bad.
than Fritos.
No, but I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that they are like they like need to dip.
All right, okay. All right. Let me tell
They
you.
don't taste different, but their thickness is different.
I love their thickness. You know,
No,
I
which
love
is
to
good.
flip them over, put them on my tongue. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
You should do that and then put bugles on your fingers.
Oh, yeah. Chip bitch. The reason why
Chip
I have
bitch.
the Frito Scoops is because I went to my aunt's house this weekend.
Yeah.
She made the Lipton soup onion dip. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yes, I do. Yes.
Holy fuck, that's good. Anyway, I want to tell you.
Water
Yes.
chestnuts?
No.
Throw some water chestnuts in that.
That's interesting.
It is, but you have to be like okay with water chestnuts.
I'm okay. I love their texture.
I think people don't like it on their teeth, and I get that because
Yeah.
sometimes it is like nails on a chalkboard.
That is such a weird
But it is
thing
good. I
to-
like it a lot.
I never thought to add that.
Oh yeah, my mom's friend
Mandy. That checks out.
White people stuff.
Certainly
Very
white
white people.
Guess what I ate this weekend?
What?
It's something that and I do want you to guess. It's something that like you would eat as a child, and we certainly, and it's fucking delicious.
Well, I want to say Frito chili pie.
Oh God, Paul.
But I don't-
Oh
because-
God, you know what? When
With scoops?
when things get better, I need you to make a Frito chili pie.
When things get better,
Anyway,
let's
pause.
pin it. Let's have a whole bin of things we'll do when things get better because my life is in shambles.
I'll make a note.
Yeah.
When things get better,
Yeah.
this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But it's something you would eat. Certainly, we ate it in high school from the high school cafeteria. And I had it this weekend. Aunt Marianne made it for my mom's birthday. Old school. Something you would eat in high school in the high school cafeteria.
Well, like a bag of crazy breadsticks from Little Caesars.
No.
But that's not obviously what you're talking about.
From the actual cafeteria.
From the actual cafeteria. And for her birthday, but it's not. Is it a sweet?
No, it's a meal.
It's a meal.
Old school, very old school. Fucking delicious. And you probably haven't had it in like, since high school.
Stop then.
Okay, I'll stop.
Stop.
I'm sending it to you.
I gotta tell you, the things that are coming up are like not.
Well, do you remember what they would serve us? It'd be like the same things. It'd be chicken nuggets, chicken patty.
Well, I'm like, all I can think of are chicken patty.
Which I would kill for one of those chicken patties right now.
The chicken patties, yes.
They were so
covered in
good.
that watery ranch nothingness. Yeah, I would eat that. Those cheeseburgers they would serve us were disgusting,
Foul.
vile. I can't believe they're allowed to feed that to humans, let alone children. And then Little Caesars. And then I'm like, I want to be like square pizza they used to make in the elementary school. Mashed potatoes.
Those potatoes were good.
I did like those.
Yep.
Oh, God. Okay, I don't know. I guess tell me.
Sloppy Joes.
Oh.
I had a Sloppy Joe this weekend, and it was so fucking good, Paul.
Do you want to know why that wasn't clicking with me?
Why?
Because I've had sloppy joes quite a bit.
Oh, really?
I make them like
Do you really?
multiple times a year. So when you were like, oh, you haven't had them since you were a child, I was like, I was not thinking sloppy joe. I make it homemade too. I don't do like canned.
Aunt Marianne did homemade too.
Yeah.
Tomato paste, all
Yeah.
that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Paul.
Mustard,
Can
brown
I
sugar.
request that for my next birthday,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah.
It was so fucking good.
I didn't like sloppy joes growing up because I think some of the ones I was served were too sloppy.
Oh.
I was like, this is soup.
Yeah.
This is soup fucking
You want it
up
nice
bread.
and neat?
I want it, yeah.
Yeah, this was thick and neat, and it was not water. It was so good, Paul.
Oh my God.
And then we had Frito Scoops, and Aunt Marianne sent me home with the Frito Scoops, and I've just been keeping them in the center console of my car. And every time I get in my car, I just eat a couple Frito Scoops.
Carbo loading. Get into this then.
What?
What if you did Frito chili pie, sloppy joes?
Yes, I would.
That's what we should do.
Okay, let's do that.
But I do want the bread. I'll do just the top of the bun, and the bottom is Fritos.
Yes. Dude, I would F that up.
I'm hungry as fuck.
Should you get more berries?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
What?
I also have to tell you something.
What? Bad news?
Yeah. And it's like, it's so bad, I think people aren't going to like it.
Okay, well, break it
And
to
you're
me
not
softly.
gonna like
You know
it.
I'm fragile right now.
So I went to get poke yesterday.
What happened?
And halfway through him building the poke bowl,
You sneezed in it.
Oh, this is so much worse, Paul. And what's worse is I ate it. Halfway, I'm standing there, and Christine's standing next to me.
Yeah.
And I thought she saw it because we kept giving each other eyes, and I kept looking away because I couldn't look at it. I noticed his glove.
I'm so scared right now.
His thumb, the entire thumb was pooled with blood. Pooled.
Should you get tested?
And we both ate the poke bowls.
You got, oh my God.
I know. Isn't that fucking foul? And so we get to Christine's car and I was like, Christine, should we talk about the amount of blood that was in his glove? And she goes, what? I didn't see it. And I said, you didn't see it? And I said, well, do we eat this food? And she was like, well, I'm going to eat it.
Oh my God.
And so we're sitting on her porch eating it. And I was like, we were looking at each other and I'm like, Paul, pooled.
Pooled, like you can't see the thumb through it.
It was wiggly with blood.
My God. I feel for him. That sucks.
I know. And he was so sweet and nice. But I'm like, I don't know what to do because I was like,
Call an ambulance.
Should I be
time out, you're bleeding into my food.
Right.
It wasn't, I mean, you didn't see it bleed into your food. You just,
No, there was no blood on the outside of the glove.
The implication.
I know, the implication.
Because on a molecular level.
Well, what if there was a hole?
What if there was a little teeny tiny hole? Pinprick. And just little tiny bit of.
I don't know, Paul. So.
I'd be freaked out if I were you.
I am.
How many days ago did that happen?
This was yesterday afternoon. This was yesterday.
So you got to wait a couple days till you can get tested.
I got really immediately bloated after, but I feel fine today. But it was alarming, Paul. And I know that's grotesque.
That's not, I mean, it could have been worse.
But that's pretty fucking grotesque.
That's bad. That's bad.
You're at a Chipotle and you see down, they've got a pool and you just eat your burrito. I shouldn't have eaten it.
I guess I don't know.
It was a risk. I did take a risk by eating it. But, whatever.
But what are you going to say, something?
Oh, I know. I was like, I can't be like, oh, no thanks, and turn around and leave. I mean, you can do that. We live
you
in...
Can do that.
You can
Free
do
will.
that. But I wouldn't do that. And so I just was like, I guess I'm eating this.
Well, I mean, you could have been like, oh, did you get yourself there?
Right. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Clearly needed stitches. It was not... It was pooled with blood.
Oh, my God.
That wasn't a single... And
maybe he's just a bleeder.
I could see... Maybe... I could see the remnants of a Band-Aid under there.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'm sure that he had just cut himself, freaked out, ran in the back, threw a Band-Aid on. People came in.
He was sitting on a stool on his phone.
Sitting on a stool on his phone?
Uh-huh. When we rolled up in there, we were the only ones in there. He got up, waved, put his phone down.
Waved so hard the bandage came off.
Oh my, yeah. Something.
Blood started coming out.
Put a hole in the glove. Paul, I'm not exaggerating with the amount of blood.
And I know you exaggerate, so I understand that you have to tell me you're not exaggerating.
I'm not.
That's gross.
Yeah, I know.
That's tough.
Yeah, so whatever.
Ooh, I'm glad that didn't happen to me.
Yeah, I know that's disgusting. Anyway, so that's all. That's all.
Well, that's gross. That's fucking gnarly.
I know it is.
That place on Colorado?
Oh, no, this is on Colfax, past Colorado. It's near her house, way down there.
I forgot that she lives somewhere else.
Yeah, way down there. No, Poke City, I'm sorry. It's just elite. It's the best. That's
the one on Colorado, right?
Yeah, the guy that works there
would never cut his finger. He would never bleed in a glove.
He would never bleed in a glove.
Amen.
He fucking over scoops you. He's nice. He's funny. He always jokes.
What's it called?
Poke City.
All right, Poke City officially endorsed by Secondhand Smut.
Yes. Oh, speaking of Secondhand Smut.
Oh, this is Secondhand Smut. I'm Paul.
I'm Angela.
And this is Secondhand Smut.
Yes.
You know what I was thinking?
What?
We should start doing at the in our intros, just a quick what this podcast is about.
Oh,
so that any new listeners would come in and they won't be confused.
Oh my God.
So whatever, we did our intro.
It only took us a year to get there.
Only. So this is Secondhand Smut, a podcast where Angela reads the smut.
I do read the smut. I read a lot of smut.
So that I don't have to.
Yeah, there you go.
And gives it to me secondhand.
Yeah.
And we discuss. And we'll clean that. We'll clean that up. That's our first go around.
Yep.
But I've just been thinking about how to be more professional.
Oh my God, Paul.
High grade podcast,
Yeah.
I mean, we're premiering a new logo.
Oh, we will be premiering a new logo. Oh, yeah, on this episode.
On this episode.
Yeah.
We're going to have a new logo and it's going to be consistent. And it's going to lead to bigger things. And you know who told us to do that forever ago? Daddy Derek.
Of course, Daddy Derek
was like, you guys need to get a logo so that you can start making merch. I know.
He needs to be
he
our
needs
manager.
to be our manager.
Yep.
Hey, Derek.
And I'm only going to call you Daddy.
I'll call you Derek, and then you can call him Daddy, and together we'll call him Daddy Derek.
Okay.
Anyway, give us a call.
Give us a call.
Because we do
Give us a
need you to
shout
start booking our shows and maybe reaching out, doing a little outreach.
Yes. If you could get us... God,
If you could get us like a social media intern, unpaid, we could definitely use one of those.
Daddy Derek, we'll pay you in poke bowls.
From
Poke City.
Poke City, which will overscoop you.
Oh my God.
But anyway, yeah, we'll do that. We're serious in it up. We're gonna do tighter intros, little explanation, social media. Everybody share us again.
Yes.
Even if you have before, help us out. We have a great core listening group.
Sure do.
I asked ChatGPT and they told me that.
We have a great core listening group.
They said that based on the analytics, it shows that we have a strong, like, consistent following,
I wish we could see
but
what
that we like are lacking growth. And I said I agree.
ChatGPT just knows everything.
So help us out. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your therapist.
Yep.
That's
I told
all
my
got.
therapist.
Yeah. And I tell mine. It's the other voice in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
He's really funny.
I bet he is.
Anyway, we're back this week. It's a scorcher.
Ew,
melting. It's so hot.
dude. And like, what people don't know is we can't run the AC in this apartment when we film because it's loud.
Yeah,
so
it is. It's warm.
It's 91 degrees outside and it's 87 degrees in the apartment.
Yeah.
By the end of this.
Yes. Like, it's warm right now, but we're going to be hot.
It's funny because every single time I come over, I'll have my hair straightened or blow dried straight. And then when I leave, my hair's curly.
That's what's up.
Because I've sweated
beach curls
through the whole thing.
That's right. Just go get some after. Yeah. See, I'm looking wild and ready.
Yeah. Well, if you have nothing left to say, I have.
I only have one thing left to say.
Oh, what's that?
And this actually goes along with the social media share us.
Okay.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we got a little bit shadow banned on one of our TikToks.
Oh.
Because the one that I posted where it was like you being like, and then it was just like beep, beep, beep,
Yes.
beep, 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 beep. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
So fun. Some of my best work.
Yeah.
Shared that shit on TikTok. Can I tell you how many views I got?
2.
6.
6? That's
6.
fully shadow banned.
Yeah.
6?
6.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know.
Shadow banned.
I was like, oh, okay. For what?
Right. It's bleeped out.
It's bleeped out.
And by the way, that is the most important TikTok we have because that is part 2 of Kiss of the Basilisk.
And it's so funny.
Kiss of the Basilisk is like, everyone talks about that. It's an incredible
Yeah,
book.
I know. I was like, I thought this one would like get a lot of attention because of
Let's repost
how
it.
funny it was. I guess so, but I don't know what to change to get it unshadow banned. But yeah, anyway, so I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Because then
that's
I
wild.
shared like the TikTok yesterday and it was like immediately like 34. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm used to
Right.
seeing. Like, we don't start off on... It was like 1 for days.
That's wild.
And I was like, for what? Because then it was on Instagram and people were like liking it. It was getting attention. And I was like, that's what's up. What's going on here, TikTok?
Shadow banned.
Because some of our TikToks have like over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
Which is big for us.
Oh,
huge
for
over 100
us.
for us.
Oh my
It's
God.
like pretty big.
Yeah.
So whatever.
We're just
so help out our TikTok
We're
too, I
just
guess.
a small mom and pop podcast doing it over here,
Yes. I say it every week.
man. Everybody
I say it every week. I cut it out. Nobody knows, but I say it every week.
You sure do.
But anyway, yeah, that was my last piece of hot piping tea news.
And oh my Lord.
And
is
it's just
that
like
piping.
that everyone should be outraged.
Yeah. Well, I am.
I am.
Well, we do have a fun summer read
Great.
this week.
It's nice, a little light summer read after our heavy hitter 2-parter.
Yes.
That's
yes.
nice.
Yeah. A little
Palate
cleanser, if you will. And I will. The book we're reading, I'm just going to give this to you for you to take a peek at, is called Pounded by Produce by G.M. Ferry. I love the cover art. The cover art is sick.
The cover art is a cucumber and then 2 vine-ripe tomatoes put together like a dick, and it's really funny.
And it's cute.
It's cute. That's good shit.
And so I do have one thing before we get into it. Some authors, when you buy books from them, from their website, they'll include art with the book.
Oh, that's cool.
And it shows you what the characters look like. And I found some of that art online, and I just wanted to show you what the characters look like. We have 3 characters, Emily, Robert, and Laurent.
Oh, Laurent.
Uh-huh. And so I just wanted to show you so you can catch the vibe. You can zoom in when you want to, but these are who we're dealing with today. So Robert is brunette, muscled, toned, Laurent is blonde, muscle-toned, taller, 2 inches taller than Robert. And Emily is a cute, petite brunette.
And just for the viewer, this is they're in priest outfits in a church.
Yep.
With like candles at a pew. I did not expect.
What are they holding in their hands, Paul?
Tomatoes and a cucumber.
Yeah.
So he's the balls, he's the dick.
We'll find out. So I told Paul this week that he couldn't read the synopsis of the book because the synopsis of the book gives away the entire book. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to read that.
Okay.
I'll spare you.
Thanks, I could use a spare.
Yeah, right? Just a little spare. Spare anything. So my review of the book is that it's an absolute blast. Perfect summer read. If someone wants something fun, quick, it's like 180 pages.
Oh my God.
Little baby novella. I think Ice Planet Barbarians was like 180 pages.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I could see that, I guess.
It was small.
I guess it was quick.
And this is fast-paced like that as well.
Well, good fun.
Yeah. This is Fleabag meets Freaky Friday, where Lindsay Lohan switches with her mom.
Dude.
Yeah.
Those are 2 bangers.
I know.
And we're bringing them together.
Uh-huh.
We're switching bodies.
Well, and did you see at the beginning
it
says on a Veggie Love Tale, pounded by produce.
A Veggie Love Tale. Are they going to become the vegetables?
So
I'm freaking out.
Again, this is Fleabag meets Freaky Friday with some veggie love. The author, this book was cathartic for her. She comes from religious trauma. So she wrote this book, and the dedication at the beginning of the book says, "To everyone with religious trauma, I hope this helps heal you in some very small, very weird way. Also to Andrew Scott, this is all your fault."
What did Andrew do?
I think it might mean it could be a nice "this is all your fault." Like, you kind of gave me the idea.
That's what
for
I
this
think it
weird
was. Like, it was like a cheeky,
yeah.
It's all your fault because that one time you put a cucumber in me.
Yep. So this will deal with this like taboo religious stuff, everyone.
Great.
So just letting you know.
I know we have some viewers with religious trauma.
Right, we sure do. So this might be a fun one for you. If you've got religious trauma, you're really going to like this one. This is a good one. Okay, so we meet Emily. She has just come out of a long-term oppressive, abusive relationship.
Been there.
She's starting over. She needs a job, obviously.
I'm feeling very close to Emily right now.
Yeah, I think you and Emily you're gonna hit it off. I'm feeling very close to Emily. So she finds an ad for a live-in cook position at a parish, at a church.
Whoa, I would maybe do that.
Man,
I'm feeling very.
Like you are Emily,
and you could call me M. I would be one of those types of Emmys.
100%. Emmy.
I won't do Emmy. No offense to Emmys.
Yeah,
I love an Emmy.
Emmy.
I'm not an Emmy.
You're an M.
I'm an M.
Totally.
Or Emily. Say my full name.
Yeah, for sure. So she gets this job, and she's giddy because it's at a rural, way out of town church. And she's always wanted to live in nature and have a quiet, peaceful life. So she's excited. Cut to, next chapter, we meet Father Robert. Father Robert is there. He's in the garden. And I just want to set the scene for you because the world she created, chef's kiss. Rolling green hills, stone. Everything in here is British, so I'm picturing it's in the British countryside.
I'm picturing Ireland.
Yes.
But yeah.
You could. Rolling green hills, stone fence, stone church, stone building, huge lush garden. There's a clothesline with clothes swinging in the breeze, trees. It's just a lovely... Yeah. Anyway, so Father Robert is picking veggies in the garden. He's 34 years old. Hot. Handsome, dark hair, described as kind of stocky build.
What, dude?
I was like, Paul's
see how gay I just got? That's so hot.
Yeah,
Are
I was
you
like,
kidding me?
Paul's gonna be wet for Father Robert.
God.
You're gonna be wet for this book.
I am.
By the end of this book,
I didn't know I was gonna like this book.
You're gonna be juicing.
Okay. Juiced up.
Juiced up. And he's a cool priest. He curses. He says fuck, all that shit.
Yeah.
He's in the garden. Laurent comes running behind him and jokes with him, whatever, ends up pulling him down onto the grass. And they're laying in the grass together, just looking up at the sky. And Laurent's fingers are interlacing with Robert's, running up and down.
What the fuck is going on?
Paul, I was reading this book, kicking my feet, smiling.
Yeah, this is...
Blushing. I was reading this book, blushing.
I was like, I'm getting a little teary-eyed. This is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
These two gay priests gardening out in the countryside.
This story, by the way, people are like... You should look up the TikToks of this book when we're done.
Okay.
People love this book.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm nervous about that because I've been burnt before.
Yes, yes, yes.
By the end of this book, I said, I love this book. This is a 7-star read for me.
Oh my God.
Even though it's a novella. And my girl Leah recommended it. Anyway, Laurent and Robert are in the grass. Laurent is running his fingers up and down Robert's fingers, and they interlace their fingers. They end up falling asleep. Backstory here. They have always been close. They met when they were 19 years old in seminary school. They were roommates.
Oh, I bet they were roommates.
They were roommates.
Oh, I bet.
And a handful of times in seminary school, they would
Seminary
stare
school.
at each other while they jerked off.
Yeah.
In their room.
Of course.
They would never confess it to their priests. They would never do penance for it, and they
Nothing
don't
to
talk
be
about
sorry
it.
for.
15 years later,
They're fucking.
they've been at this small parish together for 15 years, and they've never jerked off again. They've never touched each other, except for they're very physically affectionate. Like the hand, they interlock their arms.
Oh my God.
They're very physically affectionate.
Dude, that's edgelord. That's edging for the Lord.
15 years.
That's edging for the Lord. Yeah.
Yes, Paul. But Robert still thinks of Laurent at night, and every time Laurent touches him, he gets a zap of electricity. Like he's
Yeah,
feeling
it's
it.
called a boner.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Laurent is very good looking. He's blonde, chiseled face, lean muscles, 2 inches taller than Robert, and also very cool. Cusses, all this shit. Okay, so Emily arrives at the parish, and she's being shown the kitchen. This is where you work. Let me know if you need anything. Let me show you to your room. She sees her room, and she's just giddy. She's like, finally, I've got something to myself. Love this. The woman takes her to be introduced to Robert and Laurent in their office.
Yes.
She walks in, and they all just kind of like, Robert's behind the desk, Laurent's just leaning against it, all cool, and she's like stunned.
Yeah.
She's like, holy shit, these guys are fucking
Hot priest.
She's like, whoa. She literally says like, father? Fuck me, these fathers are sexy.
Yeah.
Is what she says.
Fathers.
So later that evening, she goes to the church to pray. She's like, I'm not religious, but maybe I'll just talk to God. Like, I could use some guidance, whatever. Kneels, is praying. In come Robert and Laurent, and they crowd her. And Robert stands like right in front of her. She's looking up at him. He's looking down. Laurent's right here, like leaning against her arm. And
What?
this.
Oh
And
God.
he's like, no, stay. She goes to
This
get up.
is
He's
the
like, stay on your
church.
knees. And Robert grabs her face, and he like is like, you know, look up at me. And then she can hear Laurent
We just met.
unbuckle his belt. And Father Robert goes, grab him. And she goes to grab him, and it's a cucumber in her hands. And she's like, what? A cucumber? And then
I'm so lost right now.
And then
I'm
she-
so lost.
And then she feels the breeze on her naked breast, and she's like, naked breast? Looks down, boom,
It's a
wakes
dream.
up. It was a dream.
Oh my God.
Got you, motherfucker. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
That was crazy.
Got you good.
I was like, they're just like, now, because
Right.
I was like, now I'm not into them. Now they feel like predators.
Yep. It was a dream.
Okay.
So she wakes up. She's like, whoa,
Yeah.
why was he a cucumber? And
I
I'm
know why he's
already
a
having a
cucumber.
sex dream about these two.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this is going to be
Yeah.
tough. So she's like, I got to have a snack, a midnight snack.
Cucumber.
Gets up, walks into the kitchen, and Laurent is in there having a bowl of cereal. And he's like, come eat with me. And she's like, no. He's like, no, just come eat with me. So they just have a little chat. He's like, are you religious?
Yeah.
Like, just trying to get to know her a little bit better. And she lets the word shit slip. And she's like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, don't worry. Me and Robert are nothing like any priests you've ever
Yeah.
met before. And she's like, what does that mean? And then while he's talking to her, he keeps saying her name. He's like, blah, 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 Emily. And she's like, this man is dripping in sex.
Yeah.
She's like, I got to go to bed. So just get me away from you.
Yeah.
Because you are too... He's like in a tight white t-shirt and navy pajama pants and just looking
Hot.
sexy
Hot,
eating
hot,
the
hot,
cereal.
hot.
Like,
Yeah.
he drips a little piece of milk down his chin.
Stop.
She can't...
Stop that.
Yeah, she's looking at him and she's like, I can't handle how sexy this guy is. So she gets up and leaves after she...
Little milk drool.
And he's eating Reese's Puff cereal.
Oh, turn off.
She goes, why are you eating Reese's Puffs? And he
Yeah.
goes, that's the fun thing about being an adult. You can just eat what you never had when you were a kid. You can have whatever you want.
Yeah, but not if you want to be hot.
Not if you want to eat dick or pussy.
This fucking slut sitting on the couch with me.
So, next day, Robert is giving his sermon, and we get the perspective from Laurent now. We haven't had his perspective in the book yet.
Okay.
He is, and he's just staring at Robert. Laurent is in love with Robert.
Yeah.
He's been obsessed and pining for him for 15 years. Like, to the extent where he went to seminary school when he was 19 because he was looking for purpose, was going to leave, and the only reason he stayed for 15 years is because he's so in love with Robert.
That's what's up.
It is.
That's how you love someone.
Yep. And so he jacks off to him every single night until last night when he thought about Emily while he was jacking off. And then he thought about Robert and Emily. Oh. And then he thought about all three of them together.
I mean, I figured that's where this was obviously headed. Yeah. I mean, not my style, but I respect the game.
Sure. You know what? I was reading this and I was like...
you were like, this is literally perfect.
I couldn't believe what I was reading.
I want a boyfriend who has a boyfriend and my boyfriend's kiss or whatever.
Yeah, and not only is it one hot priest, but it's two.
Yeah.
I quite literally couldn't believe it.
It's a perfect situation.
Yep. So after Robert finishes his sermon and they say goodbye to their parishioners and they close the big heavy wooden doors, they hear from behind them a woman say... I don't think you'd want to be trapped in here with me. And they turn around to an old woman.
Oh, it's an old witch. She's
an old woman they don't know, covered in a dark cloak with a long crooked nose and a boil on the end of it.
She had a poison apple on her.
I'm like, you can take a bite of the apple. So they introduce themselves, and she's like, I know who you are. I know you both, and I probably know you both better than you know yourselves.
Couple of queers. I spy with my witchy eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, huh? What are you talking about? She goes past them and pushes out the door and she says, tonight is the harvest moon where spirits come to play. All that is hidden will be brought to light. You two need a transformation. It's up to you both to define the true fruits of your soul.
This is going places.
Yep.
This is going places.
And so she leaves and they look at each other and Robert literally goes, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So later that night, Robert can't sleep. He goes to the kitchen, swipes some old bottle of wine, and then takes himself out to the garden. He's like, why, God? Why are you doing this to me? And then he hears from behind him, because you've been disobedient. And he turns and looks, and Laurent's over there just laughing at him. And he's like, oh, fuck off, Laurent. Yeah. And Laurent comes over, and he like grabs a bottle of wine, and they just start drinking it together. And they start talking, and Robert's like, leave me alone. And Laurent's like, fuck off. And so Robert says, oh, I've been so distracted lately. And Laurent goes, well, maybe it's because that new cook of ours has such an amazing set of tits.
Oh my God. You know what? You're right. These are not regular priests. These are cool priests.
Cool priests.
You know?
Yep. So then I've got a little blurb that I wanted to read to you. Laurent says, this is funny. Laurent's like, oh yeah, she's got such amazing tits. And Robert's like, shut up. Shh. You don't say that. You don't say that.
God can hear you.
Yeah. And Laurent sighs and goes, oh, don't act so holy. I see the way you look at her. You're a man, Robert. I don't judge. I'm not just a man. I'm a man of God. Even God was tempted during the 40 days and 40 nights, Laurent says. I ponder for a moment, examining him from the corner of my eyes. He does have a point. It's not a sin to be distracted. It's not a sin to want to thrust my cock so deep into Emily's throat until she gags around me, calling me her God, worshiping me as I wring the moisture from her heavenly cunt.
Talk about classic fucking, like, Catholic Christian. Like, let me just warp the Bible to whatever I want to do.
Well, they're
and
Catholic.
Then make it law.
Oh, Catholic Christian.
Yeah. I say Catholic.
Yeah, so he's thinking about her cunt.
Yeah.
So anyway, they talk a little bit more. They're drinking. They're buzzed. Laurent ends up pulling a cucumber off the vine and eating it. And Robert ends up pulling a tomato off the vine and eating it. And they drift into sleep in the garden.
And then they become those vegetables.
Before they drift off...
Okay, the witch shows up.
Laurent tells Robert, my mission from God is to bring you joy. He made me just to serve you. And Robert murmurs, if only you could truly serve me the way I choose. And then...
Well, you can't. You guys are kind of being weird about it.
So, next morning, Laurent, this is from his perspective. Okay. Laurent opens his eyes. He's in a garden. He's like, I can't move. I'm stiff. What is going on?
Happening?
I can't move. And then he sees a huge hand come up and pick him up. And he's like, I'm a cucumber?
This is so fucking Veggietales. It's out of control. It's
a Veggie Love Tale.
Christian religion. And it's vegetables.
Yeah.
It's a cucumber and a tomato. This is horny Veggietales.
It's a Veggietale Fleabag fanfic.
Let's do it.
It's amazing, Paul.
This is crazy.
It's amazing.
This is so funny.
Buckle up.
This is so funny.
So he's like, what the fuck is happening? And he looks over and he can see that it's Emily holding him. And he sees a tomato and he goes, that's Robert. He just knows.
I know that tomato
There's
anywhere.
Literally.
That's Robert.
Literally, that's what he says. He says, I know Robert anywhere. There's no face. He can't hear him.
No, but the
there's no telepathy,
vibe.
but he knows that
has a
tomato is
very-
Robert.
Yeah.
So Emily puts them in her basket. She takes them into the kitchen, and this is still from Laurent's point of view. He can see her cutting up carrots. He's like, this bitch is gonna fucking cut me up.
Oh yeah, I was like, is this a fucking horror movie?
Yeah, he's like, she's gonna cut me up.
Yeah.
She picks him up, and she's like looking at it. And because she had that dream, she's having some
She's like,
thoughts.
I'm gonna put that in me.
She's like, I didn't bring my vibrator with me.
Weird.
I'm a little horned up.
I would have
she's-
brought my vibrator.
For sure. But she's like, I didn't want to bring it to like the church or whatever. I would have brought it.
Yeah.
So he's like, this bitch is looking at me weird. And he's like, I'm catching vibes. Why is she looking at me weird? And then he's like, I see her picking up Robert.
But what do we
And
do
I
with the
see
tomato?
her-
Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. That was my
What do we do-
immediate question.
You know, like when they put balls on a like dildo, like that's decorative.
For sure.
You know?
And I don't be using those.
No.
I don't need the balls. Anyway, he can tell that she's bringing them into her room. She sets them on her bedside table. And from Laurent's perspective, he's like, whoa, this is crazy. She's ripping her shirt off. He's like, I'm looking at her tits, taking her pants off. She's laying down. He's like, oh my God, I can see her. He's like, is this heaven? Have I died? I'm fine if I died. This is crazy. And then
This is your heaven?
And then she starts fingering herself. And he's like, holy shit. And then she grabs him and Robert.
So is Robert one tomato?
Yep.
He's not two tomatoes on a
just-
vine?
Nope, no vine, just one.
Okay.
Just picture like a beefsteak or something.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
I'm picturing the Veggietales cucumber and tomato.
There you go.
But like
I've never seen Veggietales a day in my life. I know literally
the
nothing
main characters
about it.
are a fucking like cucumber and a tomato.
Are their names Robert and Laurent?
I don't know their names.
might be.
They might be. But like
This probably
it's all
would have
just
that
religion
part of the
stories.
story would have been funnier to me if I knew anything about Veggietales.
oh
But I
my
just
god. You've never sat in a church basement and watched Veggietales?
don't. No,
Count yourself lucky.
obviously.
Yeah.
Now we're cutting to Robert's perspective. And it's hilarious.
This
At-
is
Paul,
insane, dude.
At the beginning of the let me find it. It's so
This
funny.
the level of the religious trauma is so real.
Yeah, it's
that
hilarious.
it's like this, you know, as a child, this author probably sat there having to watch that.
Yeah.
And now she turned it into this.
And this is like her cathartic
Yeah.
way to get it the fuck out.
She's like, fuck Veggietales. And I mean that.
yes.
Fuck them.
I love this bitch. Went down a rabbit hole of hers. She writes, oh, Paul, by the way, this book opened
Yeah.
up a universe
I bet it
for
did.
you and I.
I bet it did.
Anyway, this is from Robert's perspective. I'm a tomato. A fucking
Some
tomato.
say tomato. Sorry.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm in some fucked up, spoiled, wine-induced dream. When I opened my eyes this morning in the garden, Laurent lying beside me was a cucumber. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
She's
I
very
just can't
funny.
believe it. I mean, it's very like, oh, dude, wouldn't you wake up and be like, I'm in hell?
Yes, and they did
Or
have
I've been
their
cursed.
questions. Yes.
You know, like
Oh, 100%.
obviously bad things happened.
Oh, that all goes through their mind. And
Through
he's
their
like,
vegetable minds.
in
their
their
veggie minds.
Yeah. And so he's like, okay, I'm staring at Emily's nipples right now. And I can see her underwear. And I don't know what's going on, but this is fucking crazy. And now I can see Laurent. He's like sitting on her stomach, Robert Tomato Robert. And then he can see Cucumber Laurent pass him and then go down to her vagina. And then she puts Robert Tomato on her clit and is like rubbing her clit with Robert Tomato. And then
I guess
she
he
can
had to do
see-
something.
For sure. She's like rubbing her nipple and then rubbing her clit. Your face is amazing right now.
I'm just...
And then she puts Laurent poo inside of her.
Yeah.
And so this is so funny. She's rubbing, she's getting off, she's about to come. And Robert's like, I'm about to come. Am I going to burst? Am I going to blow up? Is there going to be ketchup all over these
Fucking
walls?
Cucumber.
And then-
Cumberber.
Uh-huh. And then
Cucumber.
Robert's little top pops off and his seed runs out. His seed.
I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
She's like, oh, the tomato just
I'm
popped its
picturing
top.
like... It's like, how am I gonna make like dinner tonight?
Yeah.
I was gonna cut up a tomato.
Yeah. Gonna have to go get a couple more. Yeah, so he jizzed and his seed spilled onto her. Okay, so a little while, she passes out. Emily wakes up and
Covered in
at
vegetable
the
juice.
end of her bed is Robert and Laurent in human form.
Oh.
Curled up on the end of her bed. And she's like, ah! Cat screams, pulls the blanket up. They scream, they fall off the bed, and they're like, Laurent's like, I just had the fucking craziest dream. I was a cucumber, you were a tomato. And Robert's like, I just dreamt that I was a tomato and you were a cucumber. Emily's laying there going, what the fuck is going on? And she turns to them and she's like, were you watching me? Is this some sick joke? Like, are you trying to call me out on fucking myself with like, what are you doing? And they're like, we're not fucking with you. Where's the tomato and cucumber? Right.
In fact,
we fucked you.
You fucked
us.
With us.
Yeah. And so they're like, where's the tomato and cucumber that you brought in here with you? And she's like looking.
She's like, inside me.
Nowhere.
I'm pickling them.
I've ate it.
No,
it's nowhere. And so they move over to like the side of the bed with her. Robert sits down. Laurent's like right here. And Robert gets close to her.
Are they nude?
No, they're fully clothed.
Okay. It's not like a werewolf thing when you wake up and you're naked.
Everything comes, even their watches come back.
Even their watches.
Everything. Glasses, whatever, if they had any. So they come over and crowd her a little bit. And Robert starts like touching her leg. He's lost in the moment a little bit. And he whispers in her ear, he's like, I'm pretty sure you had me on your swollen little clit just a few minutes ago. And she's like, oh my God.
Don't fucking speak to me like that.
And she's like, I don't know what came over me. I don't normally use objects like that. And then I want to read you just a little piece from here.
Oh my God.
Are you having fun?
Yeah. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I did not think the title was going to be that literal.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's like, I don't normally use objects like that. And Father Robert grabs my hand, still on his shoulders, his bicep flexing. He takes in a gulp of air, and his eyes droop momentarily as if my touch disarmed him. He's taking back control. He breathes out, his eyes digging into me. You said you don't normally fuck objects? I didn't say that. I know what you meant. I believe you. You believe what? I believe you don't normally fuck objects. And she's like, so both of you priests have dirty, filthy mouths?
Yeah, what?
And he goes, among other things. And Robert grabs my jaw, jerks my attention back to him. If you don't normally shove cucumbers up your cunt or rub tomatoes over your tits, why the fuck did you do it today? She goes, I don't. He grips.
I don't like this.
No, he's like doing it seductively. And
okay,
she's wet.
Scary.
She's like gushing down there. She's like, this fucking hot guy's just talking to me dirty like this. And he goes, and she goes, I don't know why. And he goes, you know why, say it. And she goes, I felt something. There was something different about that cucumber and that tomato. Something I can't explain. It's completely irrational what they're implying. It's impossible, but they're so convincing.
This is crazy.
Robert turns to Laurent, still holding my jaw. And what do you think? I sure felt like a cucumber. Laurent shrugs. I pull back from Robert's touch, covering my mouth. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. He goes, why? If all this is true, then what I did to you two was horrible.
Yeah, no consent was given.
Right. And Robert goes, I don't know if I would say that. I enjoyed myself. And Laurent goes, me fucking too. But you're both priests. Aren't you not supposed to have sex with women? But Laurent replies, but we weren't priests when we were fucking you. I was a cucumber and Robert was a tomato. Maybe this is a gift from God. Maybe he wanted this to happen.
Oh, it's like the old poop hole loophole, but right. Vegetables.
Yep. Robert ggets freaked out. He comes to his senses in that moment. He goes, well, we're not produce right now. We need to leave. This is insane.
I need to take a fucking shower.
I need to repent.
Yeah.
You know? So he's like, let's get the fuck out of here, Laurent. So they do leave. Robert, it's like the next day. Robert is avoiding Laurent. They're all avoiding each other. And then
awkward.
Yeah. And then it's confessional time. And Robert is the priest that's taking confession. And he can tell Laurent just came in.
Well, I mean, yeah.
To his booth or whatever.
Obviously. I'd be like, hey, I also recognize your voice from hearing it every fucking day for 15 years. Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah. So Laurent is like, didn't that make you question some things, Robert? I mean, we just turned into produce and we fucked a woman, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. It would have me questioning everything.
Yeah.
Reality, all of it.
Yep. And Laurent has always been the one who's less into this stuff than Robert. Robert has, he's the only reason he stayed a priest is because he's in love with Robert, not because of God. Right. Robert's more into the God thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Robert's like, is this really all it takes for you to give up your faith? And he's like, maybe it was God's plan, and then not being able to fuck her back was penance because we couldn't do anything. Whatever, they're just trying to like...
God, fucking the cartwheels that they will go through to make it God's plan.
For sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So they start talking about it, and the tension thickens, and Laurent was like, Father, I need to confess. And he goes, Father, I must confess that I jerk off as often as possible. And Robert's like, me too. And then
thinking about you.
And then Laurent's like, I thought you stopped when we stopped doing it together. And
So you've been cheating on me with your hand. That's what I just heard.
You've been cheating on me with your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you and that slut left hand of yours. Or right.
For the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So Robert is getting a little chubbed up.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And then Robert can hear Laurent pull his dick out over there.
Oh, so we're
unbuckled. He's
jerking it in the confession booth.
Uh-huh. And he's like, I listen for you every night. Laurent says this to Robert. I listen for you every night. I hope that I can hear you through the wall. I try to hear you. All this shit.
Dirty.
Oh, yeah. And Laurent has a goddamn filthy mouth.
I bet he does.
The spice level in this little novella is like a 10.
Well, when you don't have much time, you really got to amp it up.
But the some of the smut I read, they don't talk as good as these. I'm like, this bitch knows what she's doing. Anyway, so Laurent is like, he keeps calling him father. He's like,
he likes that.
Yes, father. That moan, because like Robert moans, he starts jerking himself and he moans, and Laurent goes, yes, father, that's the moan. That's the moan I remember. Are you touching yourself, father? Are you thinking of me, father?
Boys.
I know. I was like, this is hot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she's just like in the kitchen getting lunch ready.
She's making a sandwich. Post-nut clarity hits Robert like a freight train.
It always hits the DL guys like that, you know?
For sure.
I'll tell you that.
Laurent's like, God. So later that night, she makes dinner for them and they're eating in silence. And it's just them three.
Which is so weird. I was like, what? Like,
they're the only two, the priest. She's there to cook them food.
Weird.
Yep. I know. I don't question it.
Yeah.
And she's like, we got to talk about this. And Laurent's just flirting with her the whole time. Meanwhile, Robert's like, I hate this.
Dude, if I'm her, I'm just serving up a plate of sliced up cucumbers and tomatoes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, let's remember.
Yep.
I had your lives
just being
in my hands.
Just being fully not nonchalant.
Yeah.
With your messaging.
Obviously. Let's go.
And then in that moment, they're like, wait, hold up. What about that old woman from the church and what she said to us?
She must have been a witch.
And Emily goes, so there's just witches running around now? And Robert's like, well, maybe she was an angel. And then Laurent gets a huge grin on his face. And he's like,
fucking Christian.
He's like, well, whatever happens, maybe God will let us have some more fun. And in that moment, boom.
Pray on it. Oh,
they turn into vegetables. In that moment, she's like, where'd they go? And she looks down and there's a cucumber and a tomato in their seats.
This is fucking hilarious.
Yes. And she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So she grabs
like a cloud of smoke, like poof.
Poof. Yep. She takes them and she runs to her room and she sets them on the ground.
And just starts
Just leaves them there.
Oh, okay.
So it's the next morning. They wake up and they're like,
are they people again?
Yep.
Okay.
They're like, what happened? Like, Robert's like, what happened? And Laurent's like, oh, we had an orgy. There were carrots, asparagus.
Yeah.
You know, he's very funny.
Dirty eggplant.
Cheeky. He's very cheeky. Robert's like, I've been thinking. I've been a good priest. I've never acted on my urges. I think this is a gift from God. And if, vegetables can't sin. Humans can sin, but vegetables can't sin.
Why do we care? Okay, whatever, dude. Whatever mental gymnastics he has to do to.
And Laurent goes, fuck yes. They give her permission to fuck them if it ever happens. He's like, if it ever happens again.
If you ever find a cucumber and a tomato in your bed.
And you feel like it's us.
Yeah. Even if you don't.
Use us.
Yeah.
That's what they say to her. And Emily's like, okay. And in that moment, boom, they transform again.
Obviously.
And she
God is good.
God is good.
God is good.
And so she picks them up and she goes, well, I guess this is happening now. And she's a little bit more shy now that she knows they're sentient. She's like, okay, I'm a little more reserved. Like, I feel a little weird now. I know someone's watching now. Right.
Yeah.
And then
it's like, am I supposed to do things to them? Like do I need to suck on this cucumber?
Do I need to this little cucumber?
Tongue this tomato down?
No, the answer is no.
Okay.
They both came last time. Their seed spilled into her, if you remember.
So is she going to get fucking knocked up with...
She's got little cucumber tomato babies.
What would you call a cucumber tomato baby? What kind of vegetable do you think would come out?
Well, a mix between the two.
Yeah,
which would be kind
tomato,
of cool.
Fucking zucchini.
Why haven't they hybridized that? A mix between a cucumber and a tomato?
Maybe we don't. Maybe it wouldn't.
They make lemon cucumbers.
Is it more lemon or is it more cucumber?
I couldn't tell you. I want to say cucumber.
This is what happens when you play God.
Right.
Anyway.
So as she's holding them, they can sense that she's reserved, and then all of a sudden,
psychic communication.
Laurent
can move,
starts vibrating, and so does Robert. And she goes, whoa. And then she looks at them and she goes, sorry, boys, this isn't going to last long. And then, boom, starts going at it. And then it's from Laurent's perspective this time. And he's like, oh, my God, I'm going to come. What's going to happen? And he spills his little cucumber seed into her again. And then he has a thought.
Raw dogging. That's wild.
Yeah. And then he has a little thought. He has an existential thought. He says, I'd be happy if I died here. I'd be happy if I died with her and I'm alone. I'm not with Robert. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that I'd be happy to die here? Shouldn't I be able to be with the ones I love, like in human form? Why would I be happy to die as a cucumber?
Let's not get too heavy, cucumber. Just shut up and enjoy it.
Right.
I don't think we need to get this crazy.
Okay, so he's second guessing his belief system is what's happening. So meanwhile, next morning, Robert's like whistling. He's like, what a gift from God.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. I have no clue what's happening, but it's such a blessing.
Praise his name.
Uh-huh. And he was like, I wish I could be with her in human form, but that's not my business. I'll just count the blessings that I have while God's giving them to me. Meanwhile, Laurent is giving his sermon that day, and he's unwell because he's second guessing his faith. So he's stumbling over his words. He almost like says fuck a bunch of times. And Robert's like, what the fuck is going on with him? Everyone leaves, and one person stays behind, and it's their archbishop. And they're like, oh, fuck, he was here and he saw that whole thing.
Yeah.
And he saw how bad Laurent did. Mm-hmm. And he already doesn't like us. He already thinks we're too progressive.
Yeah.
Looking for any reason to fire us. So he sits with the archbishop, and the archbishop tells them to take some time off. And Robert is now panicked. Robert is like, okay, so us turning into cucumbers was the devil, and God is sending us the archbishop to tell us to chill the fuck out. And Laurent is like, I'm not buying that, Robert. Don't you want more out of this life?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you know that I only have stayed in this for you.
Yeah.
And they've never talked about that before.
But it's like very
So
clear.
Robert is like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
What a priestly response.
Uh-huh. And Robert goes, we're done. We can't do this anymore. Like, this is done. Meanwhile, they are having this conversation where Laurent is like, you know I'm only doing this because of you. And he's like, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. They're having this conversation up against the wall in their office.
About to kiss.
And then Laurent reaches out and kisses Robert.
Oh my God.
And Robert opens up his mouth and slips his tongue into Laurent's mouth. And then Laurent...
That's what's up.
That is what's up. And then Laurent like goes to grab Robert's neck.
And they both turn into...
It snaps Robert out of it. And Robert's like, don't touch me, and leaves.
Ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
And then that night slips a note under Emily's door and is like, we're not doing this anymore. The thing's called off.
Yeah.
We're not doing this anymore.
No more salads, bitch.
Uh-huh. Emily reads the note and she's like, well, I wish they would maybe consult me about this and how I feel about what's going on.
I wish I wasn't treated as if I were just a cucumber tomato.
Yes. I have something to say about this. So the next day she's just like, whatever, la-di-da. She's walking in the forest and she can hear guitar music. She's like, what's going on? She stumbles upon Laurent sitting on a little log playing the guitar.
Gross. A progressive priest playing a guitar.
Yeah.
Fucking red flag.
Well, he was also singing, and I didn't even want to tell you. I didn't even want to tell you.
Head for the heels. That is cult leader behavior. Oh, it's like, I believe in God, but it's different.
I just thought it would give you the ick. He's playing the guitar singing.
I'm icked.
Yeah. So they start talking, whatever, and just trying to get to know each other a little bit more. And she realizes that he doesn't know Robert slipped that note under her door.
Oh.
To call off the whole thing. And then she's like, it seems like you don't really believe in all this. And he confesses to her, I've been in love with Robert. He's the only reason I've stayed.
Though I have enjoyed.
Like, I was looking for a purpose too, just like you. And then I thought I found it. And so I've stayed and all this shit. And she says, well, we've been together talking for like quite a while and you haven't turned into cucumber. So like, what's the deal? They're trying to piece it together.
What do like, they usually...
They're like, you haven't turned. Like, why haven't you turned? Like, what's happening? Like, why is this happening?
Because it's only when the three of you are together, when your powers combined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then she was like, if Robert wasn't in control and wasn't here, what would you do? And he was like, I would kiss you. And then they start kissing. And then they move the party down to the forest floor.
Oh, it's like that.
Oh, yeah. And then he rips her shirt open, pulls her pants down, starts eating her out.
Oh, my God.
He gets naked. And then...
Oh, my God. As humans? Oh, my God.
And then she goes...
God is going to be so pissed.
So pissed. And then as he's like, after he's eating her out, meanwhile, he's saying crazy shit. And he goes, and she looks it up and she goes, "Fill me, Father." And then
Father, fill me.
Fucks her like crazy on that forest floor.
Raw dogged.
Yes.
This is crazy irresponsible.
I hope he pulled out. I can't remember if he pulled out and like came on her tits or her
well,
mouth.
If he's Catholic, he definitely pulled out.
Had to have.
Yeah.
But he's a fake Catholic. You know?
Aren't we all?
Day goes by.
Mm-hmm.
Robert's isolated himself in the office, and he is also now starting to have questioning thoughts.
In a religious way or like a gay way?
In a religious way.
Okay.
Like, is it truly evil if I love my best friend, Laurent? Is it truly evil if I love my
Yeah, doesn't it seem like
Emily?
It doesn't make any sense to call loving someone evil?
Wouldn't God be okay with?
It's almost like it doesn't make sense. Almost like all of it doesn't make sense.
Right. So he looks out and he sees her trying to climb a tree, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And she's like, "My hat is stuck up there." And he's like, "Well, let me get your hat for you." Whatever. He gets the hat. They start walking toward like some building, and he asks her about herself. He's like, "I don't know anything about this girl. And
I've been inside her multiple times as a vegetable. I've fucked her
twice now, and I have feelings for her, and I know things about her." And so he's like, "What are your hobbies?" And she's like, "I don't have any hobbies. I just came out of this super oppressive relationship where he didn't let me have a job, a car, friends.
I mean, that sucks.
I had nothing." And he was like, "Oh, wow, that's sad." And she's like, "Yeah,
don't join a religion unless you want that to fucking happen again."
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But she's like, "I love gardening and I love cooking now that I don't cook for an asshole." And then he starts feeling really guilty, and he's like, "I've been treating her like shit the past few days, and did she leave one asshole to come to another asshole?" Like,
well, also like
whatever.
"Oh, I'm having feelings for you. I'm having feelings for you. I know nothing about you. So
I don't even know your last name.
You're not having feelings for me.
It's called insta-love.
You're horny."
Yeah. Well, it's insta-love in this book. That's one of the
but I just mean,
tropes.
Shut the fuck up, man. You don't have feelings for people you don't have any idea who they are.
I just mean, shut the fuck up, man.
You know?
Yeah. But, well, that's funny because he goes... he tells her, like, "I feel really guilty about how I've been treating you, and, like, I took advantage of you as an authoritative figure ordained by God." And she looks at him, and she goes, "Robert, yesterday you were a tomato that I was rubbing on my clit.
Yeah.
So be so fucking for real right now."
Yeah. Be so for real right now.
She literally, the author wrote that.
Yeah,
she goes, "So be so for real right now." Like, breaks the tension.
Get that God shit out of here.
She calls him out.
We are beyond God. We are tomatoes.
Yeah. And then she was like, so chill. And then she goes, "Also, you're in love with Laurent just as much, or if not more, than he's in love with you. And if you keep holding it in, you're going to regret it." And he's like, and now they're chest to chest.
You're going to regret it.
She's like, who are you jealous of? If me and Laurent, she's like, "Me and Laurent could be together. You don't have to be there. Like, who would you be jealous of? Would you be jealous of me? Would you be jealous of him?" And then he's like, boom, smacks her with his lips, and they have this impassioned kiss.
Yeah.
And then he like bites her lip, and she pulls back, and she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then he pulls back, and he's like, "No more. We can't do this anymore."
God, it's annoying.
Okay, just wait. Just wait. Okay. How many no mores are we at? 3, I think. I think that's the third.
I have no more.
That's the third no more.
I won't hear more.
Okay, just buckle up. It's 2 a.m. She's restless. She's in her bed.
You up?
Uh-huh. She walks over to the church, needing to talk to God. She goes into the confessional booth. And she just starts confessing shit. After she's been talking for like 5 minutes, finally, she hears, "Get on your knees."
Do you know how spooked I would be?
I would jump. I would
jump
booth.
and run. It wouldn't be hot. I'd be,
I've been talking for 10 minutes, just spewing secrets, and you've just been listening, and then all of a sudden you say, "Get on your knees." I would
immediately think ghost. I would not go to human hot priest. I would be like, the devil.
For sure.
Run.
It's like dark in this church. It's 2 a.m. There's just candles.
Rural, rolling hills, nothing.
Scary.
Fucking nah, brah. But okay.
And so she's like, "What?" And he's like, "I won't say it again." And so she gets on her knees. He comes around, opens her side of the thing, puts his like arm up on the thing. He's like, looking all hot.
What he is it?
Robert.
Okay.
Father Robert. And he's like looking all sexy.
And he goes, "No, we can't."
Glowing by these candles. He says, here's what's going to happen. You're going to stay right there, and I'm going to fill you like you've been begging to be filled. And she goes, "Yes, Father." And he's like, unbuckles his belt. And he goes, "You've tortured me enough. You'll take me until you're praying to God and asking for forgiveness. This is the atonement for your sins." And then fucks her mouth. Like, and she's loving it.
Damn.
She's fingering herself while he's doing it. She's like, "This is so hot."
Damn.
Uh-huh.
M.
And then he finishes down her. She's like swallows everything.
Yeah.
And then he panics and he goes, never again. And he turns around and runs away.
And she's like, your cum tastes like cucumber water.
There's number 4. Tomato water.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. V8.
Yep. Okay, so there's the 4th never again.
I would be like, okay, then never
Then
again.
stop.
And don't come around.
Right. And don't bother me and Laurent.
Yeah.
Chill.
I'm fucking your boyfriend.
Right.
And nothing
Get
you can do
over
about
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
go pray about it.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
church freak.
Yeah. Get him.
So at dinner the next day, she's decided she wants these men. She likes these men. And she's going to talk about their predicament and come up with a solution. Even if that solution is she leaves and none of them are together. Whatever. She has to talk about it.
Yeah. We're not just being weird.
Yep.
I'm not going to spend 15 years pining after you guys like y'all did.
Right. So she yells. She goes, dinner's ready. And she sits down. In comes Laurent. He's got this cute smile on his face. He sits down. He's like, you think Daddy's going to join us? What?
I feel like Laurent's definitely the bottom. No? Perfect. You know I love when the
This bitch
bottom
did
is
not-
the top.
Yes. Yeah. He goes, do you think Daddy's going to join us? He's just always so funny. Always breaking the tension. Robert finally comes in. Laurent's like, oh, did she tell you that I fucked her in the woods? And then Robert looks at him and he goes, did she tell you that I fucked her in the confessional booth? Laurent goes, what?
Jealous.
Uh-huh.
Obviously jealous.
Yep. And so then Laurent like looks at Robert and he's like, I could be with Emily, I could be with her without you. I could leave the priesthood. I could leave all this shit.
Yeah, I don't even believe in God.
Yep.
I'm just here for you.
And then he gets up from the table. She's sitting at the head of the table. Laurent.
Yeah.
Robert, comes behind her, starts putting his hand down her shirt while they're both, Emily and Laurent, are just staring at Robert, like giving him death glares. He pulls her chair out a little bit and Laurent's like just touching her under her shirt, putting his hand down her skirt, and he's looking at Robert and he's like, tell me you'd be okay with sitting right there watching me fuck her, watching me make her mine without you. Tell me you'd be fine with that. And Robert's like, I'd be fine with it. Meanwhile,
I'd
he's
be
like raging boner.
Yeah. But I was like, even if we weren't in this weird situation, I wouldn't be fine with it because I'm just trying to have my dinner.
Yeah, just trying to eat the stew.
Like,
it was beef stew, by the way.
It would be weird if you fucked someone in front of me at the dinner table.
Well, they're making a statement, Paul.
Well, I get it. I just mean weird logic.
For sure.
You're telling me you'd be upset about this? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm upset.
I'm eating.
So he pulls her back from the table even further. Robert like turns his chair so he's like got a better view.
Oh, okay. It's like that.
And then Laurent lifts her skirt up, rips her shirt open, and just starts finger blasting
We're
her.
ripping shirts?
Uh-huh.
Where is she going to go get a new shirt?
In her room, Paul.
No.
Like 10 feet away.
Whatever. They live in like the middle of nowhere. You're not just going
I know
to
she
the
doesn't have
store.
an infinite amount of shirts.
Yeah.
Like, how many did she bring? She got like, 7 shirts?
They're probably all covered in vegetable juice right now.
So Robert undoes his pants while he's sitting down. He starts jerking it, watching them too. And then Laurent picks her up and bends her over the table. And she's like, fuck me, father. And then...
For I have sinned.
And then he fucks her. Meanwhile, the entire time while she's getting railed and Laurent's railing her, they're just staring at Robert. And then I do have... Read page 148. I want to see what that says. Lord only knows. Okay, Laurent sticks his finger inside of me. I moan as he inserts 2 more. She's taken us both so good. He's like just taunting Robert.
Yeah.
If you'd only let yourself fuck her like this. It happens quickly. He pulls out his fingers, positions his tip at my entrance, and slams into me, his hips slapping against my bare ass. He leans over me again. She screams out, oh God. He leans over me. He goes, I'm your God now. No, that's not true. This pussy is my God. Oh. This is what I've been looking for all this time. Your cunt is holier than any religion, more sacred than any altar. I'll worship you until there's nothing left of me, and even after that, I'll still worship you.
Whoa.
Laurent just says crazy shit.
That is crazy.
She's about to finish. Robert's about to come all over his hand. In walks Gail, the lady who showed her around her first day. She's been on vacation the last 2 weeks. And she sees these 2 priests.
Fucking
Laurent
Gail.
is fucking the cook, and Robert's jacking his dick.
She's gonna tell the bishop.
Yeah. Could you imagine walking in on that? I'd be like, Father!
Well, yeah.
Fathers, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm them, I'm like, we have to kill her.
Right.
Gail's dead. Yeah.
We've already given up our vow.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and kill her.
We're gonna have to kill her.
Bury her in the garden.
Yeah, we'll grow tomatoes and cucumbers from her dead body.
That's the only logical thing to
Honestly,
do at this
that's
point.
the only thing I can think to do. But whatever.
Yep. So, cut 2. We go from that scene from her going, "Oh my God," to
standing over
Archbishop
Gail's dead
is
body.
leaving, saying, "I'll pray for you, men." And it's been determined that they'll meet in front of the priest council or whatever the fuck it's called, and they're gonna be excommunicated. They're assuming. And so they're in their office now, just Robert and Laurent. And Robert turns to Laurent and he's like, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to become a monk off in this somewhere fucking far away from here. I'm leaving. Like,
okay,
bye.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Lame.
Laurent.
Bet you won't.
Laurent looks at him and he goes, come on, really? Really?
Yeah.
He
just
was
come
like,
out. Let's go to a gay club.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
He goes, just be with me. Be with us.
Yeah.
Be with me and Emily. And Robert's like, no, it's wrong. I'm no good. I can't do this. I'll hurt both of you, whatever. And then they stand up and they're like yelling at screaming at each other.
I'm like, you are no good. I do agree about that.
And then finally, Laurent kisses him again. Mm-hmm. And Robert gives in and kisses
true love's
him.
First kiss.
Tongue, ass grabbing,
yeah.
fucking all this shit, you know. But Laurent's also like, well, I'm kind of scared to touch him because I don't want him to freak the fuck out again. Spoiler alert, he does.
Oh, God.
I know.
Really.
Here's the last one.
This is a short book. How many
I
times
know.
can he
This
be
is the
this
fifth
annoying?
and final.
Yeah, okay.
Robert pulls away and does it again. And Laurent screams. He's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
You're not doing this to me.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, he goes, you're not doing this to me. I'm in love with you. I've always loved you. I'll always love you. You can't do this to me.
Exactly.
And Robert says, you'll move past this. It's for the best.
Oh my God, what is this, the end of Fleabag?
Right.
Dude, gut wrenching.
What did he say? He says, you'll move
You'll
past,
get over it or something.
Yeah. I could have thrown...
pass.
It'll pass.
It'll pass.
It'll pass. When he said that in Fleabag, I could have thrown up.
Yeah. Like right now I couldn't watch Fleabag because I'm emotionally not stable enough.
Right.
Because that ending is so...
That night when he goes, we're about to have sex, aren't we? And they had sex.
Oh, yeah.
Hot.
Fleabag is a perfect show.
Perfect show.
Ended perfectly. Perfect amount of time. Perfect show. 5 stars.
You know that actor's gay in real life.
I do know that.
Yeah.
I do that. I know he's in some gay movie that Taylor watches. It's fucking sad and depressing.
With the normal people guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he basically says it'll pass to Laurent.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that is right. So the next day, Emily is out in the forest, gallivanting around, thinking, having thoughts, being like, what the fuck is going on with life? What is this world that we live in?
If I'm her, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Well, she's like, I need this job.
Enough.
I have no home. I have no money.
Oh, I guess that's
so
true.
she's spiraling. She's like, what am I going to... First of all,
mind.
she's like,
I get it.
I've soiled these priests. I've made them break their vows.
Bitch,
I also have
they soiled you so hard.
Totally. They sure did. Well, they all kind of...
Soiled each other.
But yeah, she doesn't have any money or anywhere to go or a home or a car.
Well, how much are they paying her?
Probably not a lot because she's living.
Because she's living there,
you know? Yeah. So she stumbles upon the witch in the forest, and the witch says, "I think I can help you with your priest problem, or should I say your little
I'm
produce
going to turn
pals."
you into a papaya.
There you go. She's like, "My produce pals, what?" And she's like, "Did you do this to them?" And
she kills the witch.
She goes, I'm only a mere messenger for the cosmos. Nature sometimes plays games with us mortals.
Exactly.
And asks me to relay their message.
Exactly.
She goes, okay,
the
what's
real
the
religion.
message? Right.
The original.
The cosmos.
Yeah.
She goes, okay, what's the message? And the witch says, oh, dear child, isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious why 2 priests are turning into produce and giving off sexual aura? No, not exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not exactly obvious.
She goes, not exactly.
Yeah.
She laughs out loud and screams, thank goodness I'm here. What would you do? What would you 3 do without me? She sighs and shakes her head, gathering my annoyance. My dear child, I already told them the answer. All that is hidden will be brought to light. They need a transformation. It's up to them to define the true fruits of their souls. She goes, okay, so they turned into vegetables so I could do with them what they've always dreamed of? Why do they only sometimes turn into vegetables? Why?
Aren't tomatoes technically a fruit?
Tomatoes are a fruit. You're right.
Yeah. The whole plot of this book just fell apart.
Are cucumbers too, though? Because they have seeds.
Probably. And they are gay. Couple of fruits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she goes, the witch says, sex is only part of their desires. The key is their desire to connect. to be a part of a union with their body and their soul, not like they are with their religion. That's all a front to mask what they truly are.
Gay.
Gay.
Bi. Pan.
She says, you three are destined for each other, cut from the same cloth. The universe wants you three together, and this was how they chose to bring you to each other. They turn into vegetables whenever the three of you are together, and at least one of you. They turn into vegetables when at least the three of you are together, and at least one of you admits your desires to yourselves, while the other denies their true feelings.
Someone has to deny, and someone has to be into it for it to work.
Yeah. Someone's like about
it's like a complicated curse, okay?
It is a complicated curse. And so Emily's like, the witch is like, keep at it. Keep at it. I know it's tough, but keep at it.
I'm going to chop him up.
Emily goes, Robert will never stand for this. He's too far gone. And the witch says, yes, I know. That's why I'm here. Nature isn't able to run its course with that one. She tells Emily to be patient and to bear her feelings boldly. So late that night, 2 a.m, whatever, midnight, Robert is packing his shit to run away. And he's like, I have to say goodbye to Emily before I leave. I just have to. I feel like shit for how I treated her. So he goes to Emily's room, and Laurent is standing in front of her door, about to knock. And so he looks at Laurent. They're standing in front of the door. She whips it open. Yeah. And the second she whips it open,
tomato cucumber.
They transform. And so she grabs them, and she's like, listen here. And she sets them on the bed, and she's like, you're going to listen to me talk. I love you both. I know this is the craziest thing.
But you look crazy.
That's ever happened.
You're
screaming at a tomato.
Yeah.
Can you imagine someone walks in? She goes, listen here. I love you both. Yeah. I'd be like,
Gail walks in. Gail, you got to get out of here. You can start knocking.
So she's like, professes her love to them. And it's like, I want to be with you. I want us to be together, blah, 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 blah. And as she's saying that, they start vibrating. Boom, they transform back.
Okay.
And
they're not denying.
No, they're not lying. No one's lying.
No one's lying.
Robert grabs her and is like, I fucking love you. I'm in love with you. I'm sick of this. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm done being a tomato.
I'm done being a tomato. I'm done being a priest. I love you. And then turns to Laurent and is like, I love you. I've loved you for 15 years. I've been in love with you forever, my whole life, whatever.
If I'm Laurent, I'm all, I don't care. I'm leaving.
For real.
I leave.
A little too late.
Yeah.
Robert.
I'll say this is my payback. You broke my heart for 15 years.
Walk out the door, get to the kitchen, come back and be like, psych, I'm kidding. I love you too.
Walk in the kitchen and throw a cucumber at him.
Yep.
That'd be confusing.
He'd grab it.
Is this you?
Right.
Yeah.
And then watch. And then be like, psych.
Psych, bitch.
I just had to get you one more time because you've been such a dick. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I would also be like really worried about eating cucumbers and tomatoes for the rest of my life.
For sure. Like, is this a person?
Is this a person?
I might be like that now after having read this book.
What are you going to become like? What's like a reverse vegetarian? Like you're worried about
only eat because you're worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I know it's not a person. It's just an animal.
Yeah. So in that moment, we finally get a threesome.
A human threesome.
Yeah,
because I was saying, we've had veggies all over.
Yep. No, but we get a human threesome, and it is hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Laurent fucks Robert.
Robert fucks her while Laurent fucks him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Robert's the bottom. They're all saying crazy shit.
Oh, I bet.
Words are flying out. People are screaming. I literally typed, it's a vibe.
Okay.
So the next morning, Emily sneaks out to the kitchen and Gail is there. And Emily's like, oh,
Gail,
fuck.
get the fuck out of here. Does she have a key or something?
Gail goes, listen, honey.
We've all fucked two
Don't
priests.
worry about it.
Yeah.
She goes, I was more shocked to see you in the mix with them.
Because they're so gay.
I know they've been in love with each other for so long. She goes, I've worked here for a long time. I see what's going on.
I'm Gail. I know what's happening.
Yep. And she goes, I gotta be honest with you, Emily. From what I saw, it was pretty hot. And Emily goes, this bitch gets it.
Oh, Gail's jealous.
Yeah, Gail gets it. And she goes,
Gail, what could have been?
Gail goes, I don't blame you for being with either one of them.
Yeah, let alone both.
And Emily's like, wow.
Yeah.
This is too good to be true.
Yeah. I'm going to say it. This is too good to be true.
Yeah.
I'm going to be with this whole book.
It's too good to be true. Epilogue, 5 months later. Oh.
She's popping out pumpkin gourds.
Yes, for sure.
Ears of corn.
They had learned that a few miles up the road, a vegetable farm was going up for sale.
Oh my God.
They bought the farm.
Okay.
They've lived there for 5 months.
Exclusively growing tomatoes and cucumbers.
Exclusively. And it gives us another sex scene of them doing it. And they're having sex. And Laurent is slowly putting his dick in her at the same time as Robert. We've got double vaginal penetration.
Oh, like prayer hands, both
Yep,
dicks.
both dicks up
priest.
inside. They've been working her up to this point, and today's the day where
Stretched
they're
out.
finally
Coming together.
And so we've got this. It was a very steamy. It's called DVP scene.
Oh, double vaginal penetration? Because
Yep.
I was like, don't explain DP to me.
No. Yeah, DVP.
Yeah. I'm glad that DP is like just is assumed butts, and you have to add the V for...
No, DP is assumed for straight people is one in the ass, one in the vagina.
Oh,
That's DP.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
I loved your genuine reaction. Really?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's
I guess
what DP
that makes sense.
So that's why they have to say DVP.
Because it's not just...
Anyway, so they've just been living in bliss on their vegetable farm, fucking each other like crazy for 5 months.
Just like God intended.
Just like God intended, and they live happily ever after.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
Isn't it fun?
That is fun.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And no one's transformed, because they're living their
Well,
truth.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all about
yeah.
living your truth.
So then what happens like one day they just transform? I would be like, what are you fucking lying about?
Exactly.
What are you fucking...
Who did something?
Yeah. Who did something?
Who fucked up?
Yeah. Fucking cheating ass motherfucking...
That would be quite the tell.
Yeah. But it would be like, which one?
Right. Who's fucking lying?
Yeah, cucumber, tomato.
Uh-huh.
Confess.
But also, wouldn't it be fun to mix it up one night? I'd be like, just try to transform. Like, let's just...
Yeah. Pretend
let's
you don't
mix-
love me.
Let's mix it up tonight.
Yeah. Well, they could probably just bring in a cucumber and a tomato.
True.
You know?
Yeah, but what's the fun in that?
What is the fun in that? That is a great question.
The amount of sentient romance novels that have now been thrust into me, you wouldn't believe.
Well, I mean...
Paul, you wouldn't believe.
You remember that one that... before we even started the podcast? Squeak?
Stuffed.
Well, I'm talking about
pillow.
another one called Squeak.
Oh, what was that one?
That one was balloon animals.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
saved that on my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to hear some of those.
Oh, buckle
So
up, because I've got
funny.
one that we're going to do next time. I've already have a Halloween one.
Oh my God, yes.
A really good Halloween one.
Great.
2, actually. And one of them is by her.
Like we did like a short one like we did last time. I loved
yeah.
that.
One I think is like 80 pages.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was pounded by produce.
That was great. That was
10 out
nowhere
of 10.
where I thought it was going to be.
Me neither.
I just thought
Me
that
neither.
produce was going to be involved in the sex. I truly did not think we were going into sentient
like
produce.
and a religious, the whole religious
The religious
aspect.
thing is funny.
Yeah, I
I
had
mean,
no
it's
clue.
it's obviously Veggietales. She's obviously doing Veggietales, which
Big
is
time.
so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, look up some TikToks about it. They're very fun.
I bet.
Do you want me to tell you next week's?
Yeah.
Next week's. And I have a prediction. I haven't read the book. I'm predicting. I'm hoping. I think this is going to be we're both going to enjoy
Oh, yeah?
this.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
It's called The Jock.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. You know I love that.
I know.
You know I love
And I've been waiting
that.
for this one, and it's gonna hit a trope that you've asked for a year ago.
Oh.
You don't even know.
Okay, yeah.
That's
I've
why I'm
clearly
predicting
forgotten.
we're both gonna love it, because it's something you've been wanting this whole time.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, I've got it.
I'm
okay,
excited.
I've got it. Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay. I think that The Jock is about a jock, right? So it's gonna be about
Nice. Good. You're off to a good
yeah.
start.
I'm really solid there so far. I'm like got a good thing going. It's gonna be about a 28-year-old beefcake of a man. Beef.
What sport?
Cake.
Because that depends on
Beefcake.
what parts of their body.
Well, so his whole thing is he's played multiple sports. So he's done like baseball and football.
You got a fat ass.
Yeah, definitely has like a big fat ass. He's like, he's just like all around athletic.
Okay.
He excels at pretty much every sport that he plays. But the big ones that he did in college were like football, baseball, and then he like would do like lacrosse and stuff, but sometimes it would like fuck up like with his schedule.
Yeah.
And he like ended up like staying in college for like 7-8 years
Playing at the college sport.
like
Okay.
the college sport, but like not graduating,
Right.
like not getting the
That's
degree.
embarrassing.
It is a little embarrassing.
Isn't it? Or am I wrong in that?
No, I think
that's a little embarrassing.
I mean, maybe for like different groups it's not, but
Right.
I think that's embarrassing.
For sure.
Because it's like, feels like you're just like staying at the college level. And that was kind of his thing, is that he had a little bit of the jack of all trades, master of none situation, where it was like, yeah, he like performed well in all of these sports, but he never
made it pro
never got
any other
noticed
one.
by anyone, because there were like other people that were like, my entire life is this sport, my entire life is
Yes.
this sport, and he's not that. He's the jock. He does them all, but he just loves them. It's just his thing. And so whatever, like, you know, he ends up eventually graduating after like having changed his fucking like major 100 times, and eventually he's just like does like sport medicine or something. And but I mean, he's been in like every discipline in the college. He's done communication classes, he tried
English
psychology
major.
he did English. It's like all this stuff, and it's like it was like C's and whatever. And so he was kind of just like probably swapping so he could stay in school longer
And keep
you know.
playing.
Yeah, but then it's just like got to the point where like he had to fucking graduate. You know, he's, did I say 27? Maybe 28.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you just got to go, like, it's just fucking time. And he's like super depressed about it. You know, he's like, this fucking, like, he doesn't want to admit it to himself, but he was like, this is kind of like the only time I've ever felt.
Well, he doesn't know his identity.
Worth anything.
Yeah.
Is like on a team doing a
Who
sport.
is he without sports?
Yeah. Who am I without it? But it's like by the end of it, like, everyone was like years younger than him, and we're like, it's weird that you're sticking around.
Almost 30.
So it's like he kind of just got to a point where it was like alienated out of it, and never, like, you know, his peers that would be his age that are playing are in the pros. So it's depressing. It's a bummer. So whatever, but he's graduated. He's just coming off of kind of like, you know, the whole high of like, we did the celebration, we did the party, everyone's like proud, no one's like saying what we're all thinking, like fucking finally, like whatever. So he's kind of like at the point now where he is like in a little studio apartment that the one he stayed in all through fucking college, and he's like flying out. He's like, I have to start doing job interviews. And so he's like flying like kind of across the country, Seattle, Springs, even East Coast, California, because he's interviewing for like sports medicine positions. He's trying to find a team because he wants to still be like adjacent to sports, even if he's not going to be pro. So he's on this kind of like depressing job tour of these like interviews that have been set up. And so he's really excited about the like last one that he's doing, because it's for like a big baseball team, and they're kind of like rolling out the red carpet for him. So he's starting to feel like a little special, like, you know, and they're like, you know, we're going to fly you like semi-private to come see us. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? And it basically just means that it's like, we're gonna use our like team company small plane, but like they're gonna pick you up and a couple other people that are flying here, like not to interview for your job, but like just like we have other reasons, like they're gonna come here. So like, you know, we're gonna pick you up first and then stop in like Austin, Texas, and pick someone up, and then so you're gonna kind of have like layovers, but it is a private plane, you don't have to get off, whatever. And then he's gonna end up, you know, there where it's like him and like 3 other dudes who are all like early 30s to like the oldest one's probably like 45-ish, you know, but they're like very established, like put together, accomplished men that are like being flown out by like the company that owns this fucking baseball team. And like one of them's like going there to, he's like, you know, I'm like senior management, I do like accounting, and I like am here to interview for like a high like fucking CFO position. One of them's there because he's like, I do data analysis, like that's, you know, whatever I fucking do. And then what are the third one?
The third one is the mascot.
No, I hate that.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I was like, that's horrible.
I know.
I'm trying to think of what would be like another good accomplished person.
He could be a new like assistant coach or a pitching coach, or he could be a
he's a coach, definitely. He's like a coach, and he is kind of like famous because he was a pro, and he had a really good like pro career in baseball. So like the jock dude immediately recognizes and he's like, oh my god, and he knows like this dude's like doing coaching now. So it's like a big deal. Like sure, like there's only one other baseball guy, the other people are just like for the company that owns it, but like these are like well established people.
Please tell me they're gonna pass this jock around.
Well, so then what's gonna happen is fucking planes flying. We're up in the air. We're going over the Rockies.
What's happening?
Because we're going up to Seattle for this or
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
And small planes go down.
Oh my lord.
The plane goes down.
Oh shit.
The plane goes down, and it's fucking chaos. But it's
Yeah.
like in the middle of the night. Like they were asleep. It was like an overnight thing. Because I mean, he's been flying like all fucking day, picking up all these other people across the country. It sucks.
And to be in a plane crash is one thing, but to be in a
At
plane
night-
crash at night.
And it's like he can't. So like he wakes up to flashing lights, turbulence.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Out the window, treetops,
Oof.
blackout.
Yep.
Wakes up, ears ringing, crazy, plane crash, fire. Oh my god. People
out.
yelling, help, help, help.
Yep.
At the end of it,
Only those 4 survive.
yeah, crew is dead.
Yep.
Only the passengers survive. And like the baseball coach is like arms fucked up, but not broken, dislocated.
Yeah.
So they gotta, that's gonna be like the first struggle
Put
is
it
like
back in.
someone's gonna be like, we just have to put it back in. But thankfully the jock is Source Medicine. So
Right.
he
Thank God.
pops in, does that, fixes the guy, everyone's happy, chill. So then it's gonna be like them. First night, obviously bad, discussing, oh, black box, they're going to find us. It's a big company. They're
Yeah.
looking for us. Like, we don't need to be here that long. It's fine. It's whatever. Or not it's fine, but like, this sucks, but
Yeah.
we'll be okay. And then they all start like talking and like kind of like, compare, like, this is who I am. This is like what I've done. And they all have this like list of accomplishments. Like the fucking CFO guy, he's like, oh, I fucking also am like a big fisher hunting guy outdoors, like whatever.
Ooh.
The other dude that like does data analysis, he's like, I also like have an engineering degree. Like they're all like
Nice.
fucking smart,
Yes.
accomplished, well put together people. And they get to him and he's just like, I played college sports for a million years.
Hey, but don't discount yourself.
Yeah,
Sports
but so
medicine.
he kind of feels that way, and he
he's
gets
low- he's low on
he's already
himself.
low on himself. So
Yeah.
he's kind of like, what the fuck, and
Yeah.
he kind of gets a little bit of a vibe, like they're like, okay, cool, we're like not gonna rely on him as much because the three of us are so smart.
Yeah.
We're gonna like put this together, and then it's gonna start to be like days are fucking passing,
Yeah.
and ain't nobody coming, and we need to start like gathering food, and like fucking data or CFO guys like, yeah, like we need to start like hunting and like doing all of this stuff, and then they're gonna like start having to do that.
Yeah.
And it's gonna kind of be like from the jock's perspective where he is like, these are pretty hot men and I'm into it.
Yeah.
But also like he keeps going along with them, like one individual one's like, I need this done, like
Yes.
I need help fishing, like boom, he's there and
Yeah,
he's able to help.
We'll get chapters of like everyone connecting
Yes.
in their own way,
Yes.
slowly over time.
And the thing about him is like it'll start to be established that like he's a quick learner. He's done a lot of learning in his day. So
For
like
sure.
he picks up on what they're doing. And
Jack
a
of
lot
all
of like
trades.
all these little things that he did in college, like he didn't master any of them, but he's got at least a base enough understanding that he can be effective. It's like he's not amazing, but he's effective. So they all start to kind of pick up on that. And he's like the youngest of all of them. So then it's just going to, be like, this is starting to turn into
Yeah.
like,
A thing. We're living here
yeah,
now.
we're living with this is taking too long. Like clearly we weren't on course. Clearly
Yeah.
there isn't a signal, and they'll eventually like, need to leave the plane crash site because they need to get like fresh water or whatever. So yeah, eventually they're going to fucking move their camp and start establishing things. And then
Love
it's
this
going to just be a
wilderness
story of
survival.
like catching vibe,
Yes.
catching vibe.
late
And
night
so,
by the
and because he's the
fire.
one that kind of goes off with the other three individually to help them while they're all doing their own projects, like he's the one that starts catching, like, I think all these dudes are like,
He ends up
into
being the
me.
glue
He is. That
the
is what
group.
it. And so like by the end, I mean, they're so obviously they all start fucking.
Yep.
Like he's gonna fuck like one of them alone,
Yep.
and then he's gonna fuck another one alone, and then he's gonna
And then
get
two
caught
others will
fucking.
fuck over
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
like-
And it's like until eventually it's like it'll all come down to like one night. This is like middle of the book where they're all kind of like sitting around the campfire, almost relaxed, almost joking, and then someone's gonna like make a joke about someone fucking someone, and it's gonna get weird, and they're all gonna start like joking with each other about it, and then all of a sudden it's
I'm there right
on
now.
and popping.
Paul, I'm there.
Like if it's like, oh, shut up, whatever,
I'm so there.
whatever, homo, like whatever, and then it's like, and then they're wrestling, and then they're fucking.
I gotta say something. I love that you love a white shoes just as
Oh
much as
yeah,
I
yeah,
do.
yeah. Because why choose?
Why choose?
Hey,
why
man,
have one
know
when
me.
you can
I love
have
an open
five?
relationship. So, but yeah, so they're gonna all start fucking, and then they're all gonna start falling in love with each other.
I love that.
And like he's gonna share his insecurities. They're all gonna be like, they're gonna apologize that they did kind of look down on him at first, and then
So I just hope that we're throwing a daddy kink in there for the oldest
oh,
one.
100%. Yeah,
Okay,
he's
cool.
very daddy.
Perfect.
Like he's
Perfect.
daddy.
And the jock calls him daddy.
Yeah.
when they
Oh,
have sex.
100%. Yeah.
oh.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's very daddy uncles, like fucking, you know, older men. And then, I mean, there's going to be drama. There's going to be bear attacks. People are going to get hurt.
Something's
you know,
gonna
you're going to
happen,
care,
right.
all this stuff. And then it's going to be like a long time.
Cut to 18 months later.
Yeah. Something like a long time like that. And then they are, you know, all eventually found. And then that's going to be like the end of the book. And then the epilogue is they're all like living in Seattle, all got the jobs for this company.
So it can't be 18 months later then, because they would have been replaced quite quickly.
Well, I mean, these are like new jobs.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? The company's like, we're hiring you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, dude. Like, we still need a coach. We still need this. We still need that. Maybe they don't have the exact jobs they were getting, but they're all working for that company. They got a huge
Penthouse?
settlement from that. And then, bought a like big place together.
Live together.
And they all live together and they're just fucking all the time.
Yes.
They're so happy. And he is like, he like did the sports medicine, but then like they were all like, this guy's way more than just like what you've got him doing.
Right.
So then he like ends up just being like, not like head coach, but he's like head management running like the teams, and gets like a lot of validation and credit. And a lot of it is because he has taken so many different majors and so many classes and things that he just relates to people so well. And he's just like semi-knowledgeable about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the jock is about.
I love that. That's
you.
fun. That's got action-packed, survival,
Yeah.
plane
Oh, yeah.
crash. It
Drama.
paints a very vivid picture.
Yeah. It's like Yellow Jackets, but like gay and older men.
Love that. I'm so into that.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Have not read it. I have not read the synopsis.
I bet the cover's good. Jockstrap.
That's all I'm hoping for is just a jock strap scene.
Oh, 100 of them.
There has to be
100 of them. I
The
don't want to hear
cover
anything
is
else
good.
but that.
I just can't wait to tell you next week what it is. But
Okay.
we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
All right.
Okay, great.
Another great episode of Secondhand Smut.
Yep, and I'll see you next time.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.